Welcome guys to this special video which is going to give you triple benefit. Firstly, it is going to give you ingredients to write an effective introduction whether you are an academic or GT student. Then it is also going to give you tips by which you can plan very systematic introduction, and then along with that it is also going to give you 5 examples which have been specially chosen from all different types of essays. So let us start. So first of all, ingredients, and there are only two things. There is no third thing which you actually need to write an introduction. So first you need to introduce your main idea by rephrasing it, and secondly you need to put thesis sentence. The first tip is, do not plan your introduction first. Guys, if you have read your essay statement, you are not to straight away go into introduction writing. I'll explain you later why it is so. So first of all, you need to plan your body paragraphs first, and then conclusion, and lastly you are to plan your introduction. So that is your first tip. Do not plan your introduction first. Secondly, you are to write ideas alongside introduction when these come to your mind, especially when you are reading essay statement, because these things can otherwise get lost if you are not going to write these somewhere. Third point is, you need to be specific, be to the point or precise. Do not make lengthy introductions. And lastly, you are to try to be advanced, because if you will be calculative, you will be advanced, automatically your introduction would sound better. And while giving you examples, I will again focus on this particular point. And now guys, let us start with introduction making. So guys, 4 out of 5 essays have been taken from book 18, and the first essay is, the most important aim of science should be to improve people's life. To what extent? Do you agree, disagree? So first of all, we are going to rephrase this first sentence, the most important aim of science, which can be written as topmost priority of modern science. And it is also saying should be to improve the people's life. Now we are flipping the main sentence, and now our sentence becomes, making life of common man worthwhile should be topmost priority of modern science. And now in thesis sentence we are straight away going to put, I strongly support this perception, right? I strongly disagree with this perception. Or if your essay allows, like it is, to what extent do you agree, disagree, then in that case you can also partially agree, and you can write, I do not have strong opinion either way, or I have mixed views. So that way you can plan your introduction to any debatable essay. Now let's move to the second example. So here is your second essay. Some university students want to learn about other subjects in addition to their main subject. Others believe it is more important to give all their time and attention to studying for qualification. Discuss both views, give your opinion. So two views have been very clearly given. So let us rephrase the first view, and then we'll rephrase second view, and lastly we will put thesis sentence. So we are starting. There is thought among college goers to study supplementary subjects. Now for additional subjects we have written supplementary subjects, and then we have written connector along with. In statement they have written the main subjects, and in that place we have written their core options. That way our first view has been introduced, and in place of others we are using whereas. A part of society means, for others we have written a part of society emphasizes. Now statement is saying it is more important to give all their time and attention to studying for the qualification. So means for that we have written to be more qualified in field. That way our sentence becomes, whereas one part of society emphasizes to be more qualified in the field. And now we are left with only and only thesis sentence, which says this essay further manifests critical analysis of both perceptions, and in place of manifests, you can also simply write present. This essay further presents critical analysis of both perceptions. And you can quote this last sentence, which is your thesis sentence, as it is in your all discursive essays. And now let us move to the third example. So it says, in many countries around the world, rural people are moving to cities, so the population in countryside is decreasing. Do you think it is a positive or a negative development? So guys, an average student will simply rephrase without writing urbanization in the introduction, but a good student will definitely go for word urbanization, and we are also going to use that. If you know what actually is your essay about, there is no problem to introduce that point, because your essays are sometimes about globalization, global warming, and these are indirectly introduced to you. A good student will definitely identify what his or her essay is about and will put that word in introduction straight ahead. So let us start. In many countries can be written as globally, and there has been trend of urbanization because rural people are moving to cities. In that place we have written there has been trend of urbanization, and so in place of so we have written due to which the population in the countryside is decreasing. So in that place we will say rural areas have become thinly populated, right? And now finally we are putting thesis sentence. As per my perception, in long run the demerits of this scenario outshine merits, because this essay is talking about positive or a negative development. So means it is clearly saying you the demerits of this scenario outshine merits. So that way fourth example is in front of you now. In many countries, people are living longer than ever before. Some people say an aging population creates a problem for governments. Other people say there are benefits if society has more elderly people. To what extent the advantages of having an aging population outweigh the disadvantages is your essay. So, in many countries, we can write citizens in numerous countries. Now, let's come to the main sentence. People are living longer than ever before. So, we have already written citizens. So, we will join the later sentence with our initial phrase. Citizens in numerous nations are experiencing more lifespan than their ancestors. That way, our main sentence has been rephrased. Now, further, this statement is introducing two-way impact. On one side, they are saying it can create a problem for the government, and otherwise it can be beneficial if society has more elderly people. So according to us guys, it is basically a debatable essay. It is basically creating a controversy. So what we have written further is, further this scenario has become controversial as it adds burden on state as well as it can be a social advantage. So in this way, the whole scenario has been introduced. Now we are coming to the thesis. As per my thinking, this statement will yield to abundant merits if is handled systematically, otherwise setbacks will dominate. Right guys? So that way we have quoted thesis sentence. So our thesis sentence is clearly telling that if things are not handled systematically, there would be more problems, means to say the advantages outweigh disadvantages. Now let us move to the last example. Nowadays, in many countries, households waste, that is, food packing, is increasing day by day. What are the causes of that, and how can this problem be solved? And the last essay is problematic, or in other words, is actually a two-way essay. Now, for first sentence, in place of nowadays, we can write recently. In many countries, household waste, that is food packaging, is increasing day by day, can be rephrased as recently rising domestic trash has become the order of the day. The order of the day means something which is very common. So, our main idea has been introduced, and now let's jump to the thesis. This essay would articulate reasons behind, means causes, along with ways to mitigate the problem, means it is also talking about the second question. So this way guys, the whole introduction part is done. So if you are appreciating my effort, don't forget to subscribe the channel and share this video with your friends. Bye bye. We'll meet in next video.